So for my game development module 1, I decided to make a endless runner game. And in this game, you spawn and you are forced to run forward at an increasing speed while you dodge objectives, obstacles, such as boxes that will crush you, tripwires that will kill you, mines that will try to chase you and damage you, and you can, while you'll try to collect gems and get as far as possible to collect as many points as possible. The combination of gems and tiles traveled will become your high score, which will be saved and recorded for later if you want to try again and beat that. While doing this project, I've been very conscious about trying to only employ blueprints that make sense to me logically, that I'm only putting in things that I can confidently say that, oh, I understand how this works. This is because I have to rely very very heavily on tutorials. I need somebody to show me how does the thing that I'm thinking about work. I mean, I often have a half decent idea of how to do something with blueprints, or at least with programming, but I don't know how to bring that idea into practicality, because I'll have an idea that I need to do this thing here so I can do the other thing here, but I don't know what the nodes are called. So I need somebody to tell me, either through a tutorial or through Discord or something, that, oh, the thing you're thinking about, that's called this type of node. And so far that's worked actually quite nicely. But even with that, this does put me somewhat close to the tutorial series I followed on YouTube. But I've made adjustments where I saw fit and where I could find ways that made sense to me that I would be making a change. When I designed this game, I made a very conscious choice about using the color red to signify danger or death, basically. Using this system is pretty easy to detect for the player, to understand that, oh, there's something red, I should try to avoid that or do something about it. I could probably develop things like the mine further, to show more readily to the player that this can also be destroyed, even though it is dangerous. One focal point for me making this game was that these things were to be procedurally spawned. So as the tiles are spawned, it'll pick from a selection of things and just distribute them as you run, so you'll never have the same experience twice. I could probably develop these a little bit further, working with the weighting. There is a different system that was in the tutorial system as a series that would probably work quite well, but I feel like the spawn ratio for the number of things I have in my game right now works quite nicely. It's not too much, it's not too little, but I think this is something that would be best adjusted after adding more things, which is quite easy at this point in this game, because systems are in place for how things are removed, how they are added. But adding in the weighting would change up a little bit for the spawning system, but it's not a big change. But there's something for the future there. For my game HUD, I put in a health bar I designed very quickly in Photoshop, and I put in some elements to keep track of the tiles you've traveled, the gems you picked up, and the high score, as well as a numerical value for your health value up here. This could probably be clarified by adding in some symbols, like putting in a gem next to this box here, and a tile symbol next to this, and a high score symbol next to this. Another thing I wanted to do was to differentiate my project a little bit from the tutorial series, so I decided to add in a shooter element. Currently, this works by simply detecting overlaps, and it spawns a projectile, which is using the projectile movement feature up here to generate traversal across the world. I know that there's something called, I think it's line tracing, which would probably work quite well as well. I just couldn't figure it out. It was I set up a system using it, and it worked as long as the cursor was above something I could shoot at like a box or the enemy or something. But as soon as I started shooting at the skybox, it would always fire backwards. It's something I would like to get into further into in the future, especially if I try to make a first-person shooter or something. That would be pretty much critical for it to function. But at least I'm aware of its existence and the potential to expand upon the features using that. Finally, here's a little gameplay video I made just to show the game off.